Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Ulacki, and I am going to give you an example of how we can stretch our writing all the way out to 8 minutes, because I know in my assignments I'm asking you guys to work for 8 minutes. It's very common that students will just make a stick figure and tell you that they're done in a response to a book. But what we're trying to teach them is to spend the whole time working, to not give up early. I often tell them that even if I finish all of my work in a day, I don't get to just leave. I have to work until work time is over. So I set myself an 8-minute alarm on my computer here, and I'm going to show you how we can stretch out a response to a book to 8 minutes. Okay, so you just read Just a Baby Bird, which is a little critter book about finding a little bird, and then they take care of it, and there's a cool little ending. And in my assignment I said to write for about 8 minutes about a time that maybe you found a bird, or maybe you found a bird's egg. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to show you how to keep adding details in your writing work until the full 8 minutes is up, because I know sometimes you're not sure exactly what else you can add. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and start my writing. Mrs. Ulacki. And I do have, well, this is what I use instead of a pencil, and I only use this because it's easier for you to see on camera. So you guys will need a pencil, and you will need either markers or crayons, whatever supplies your child likes to work with the most. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my timer, and I'm gonna think about a time that I found a baby bird. And I actually have a really good story that I remember from when I was little, where me and my best friend Josh found a baby bird. And so I'm going to draw a picture of me and my best friend Josh. Now, I am no artist, but I do practice. So the kids will get better with practice. If you don't know how to make something, you just try your best. Okay? I make mistakes all the time too, and that's okay. You only get better if you try. So here's my friend Josh. I give him all his parts. And Josh and I am shorter than Josh. I had long brown hair when I was a kid with bangs. I'll color those in a little bit. And my mom always put me in dresses. So I'm gonna make sure that my clothes is as close to what I would wear. But I always used to climb trees, so I still had like dirty little knees. And me and my friend Josh were down by the nature preserve. So let's draw the ground we're standing on. We don't want to be floating in the air, so we make sure that we draw the ground that we're standing on. And we found our little baby bird. He was laying on the ground, and he looked like he was not feeling so good. So me and Josh, we went and we got ourselves a shoebox, like most people do. And we filled it with some grass and things like that. And we eventually took our bird to a nature preserve, but we actually found him at the end of our block. And at the end of our block was a fence. I'm gonna do my best to draw a fence. And it kind of looked like this. It's kind of like a side view. And on the other side of that fence was a big nature preserve. And we spent a lot of time in there. Now I'm gonna color over this stuff so it won't look so funny. I always make sure to add as much stuff as I can. So there's probably some squirrels up in those trees. Don't really know how to make a squirrel, but they have big fluffy tails, I know that. It kind of looks like a bird, but it's a squirrel. There's another tree. Maybe that one has an owl on it. Okay, I'll add some branches to that, or some leaves to that. Okay, one of the things that I always like to remind the students if they can add details to their pictures and keep thinking of new cool things to put inside their pictures, they'll be able to keep adding details to their stories once they start writing stories. But you have to take your time. Now, one of the things that's easy to draw about a house is that you can use shapes that we know about, like a triangle roof and a rectangle for a door and a rectangle window. Okay, oh my goodness, I just realized I have 4 minutes left. So I'm gonna start adding some colors. Oh, I wanna make sure I have a sky. And then I can come back in and I can label at the end. So this story definitely made me think about the time that me and my friend Josh found that baby bird. So that's why I drew this picture. Oh, of course, an evergreen tree is going to be green because it's evergreen. Okay, one of the things I like to tell the kids is there's something that I like to call 3-star coloring. And one of the rules of 3-star coloring is to try your best to stay inside the lines of what you drew. But not only that, try to make all of the background color go away. I usually say make all the white go away, but since this paper is yellow, we want to try and make all the yellow go away. That's part of 3-star coloring. Another part of 3-star coloring is to make sure that we're using the right colors for the things that we're making. So because this is a tree, I would make the trunk brown. This one too. I wouldn't make it purple. Although sometimes it's fun to do something silly. That's just not what those things look like. And some grass down here. Now I'm making it look like this, not because I'm trying to not do 3-star coloring. It's because it's grass. And I kind of want the texture of grass. Okay, my outfit. Oh, let's put me in red because how cute is red? Little red shoes. Dirty legs because I climb trees. There's my brown hair. It was always wavy. My dad used to call me the little cave girl because I had crazy hair. Josh also had brown hair. And we'll, since he's a boy, we'll put him in blue. Even though blue's my favorite color. And the shoebox, we'll make that kind of blue too. This house behind me, let's pick a color for that. Oh, I lost a cap on that one. I wonder if that's dried out. Let's find out. Yeah, that's not good anymore. We'll put that one aside. I'll make this house this color blue because the house I grew up in was a blue house. Ooh, I have 1.5 minutes left. I need to hurry up. Okay, I still want to do a nice job though. And I want to come back in and I want to label my picture so everyone knows what these things are if you're not able to tell. Even if you're not able to tell, I still want to make sure I label because that practices my beginning sounds, and we'll eventually move on to writing the whole name of the object, and then we're going to move on to writing whole sentences. Ooh, I'm running out of time. See, it's pretty easy to fill up the whole time if you just put a whole lot of time and effort and everything. So I want to make sure I label owl. That starts with an O. So I'm going to label that with an O. If you can sound out the whole word, go ahead and try and do that. Squirrel. That starts with an S. Tree. T. Ooh, I'll even put the word me for me. And here's the bird. This is a fence. This is a cloud. The sun. Josh. House. And the grass. Okay, my 8 minutes is up. And as you can see, I have a pretty detailed picture here. And if I were to retell the story about it, I would have a lot of things to talk about. So that's how we fill up our whole 8 minutes when we're writing. And yeah, happy writing. See you guys later.